Hello, Drunkduckers! This is the Drunkduck Quackcast. I'm Moses Ocean. With me is Tance and Baines, and welcome to Quackcast number 718. Hi, Tance and Baines.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Hello again. Now, on this Drunk Duck Quackcast, we're talking about morons, idiots, fools, dumbasses, and any of those kind of terms, just fools. And it's sort of it's based on we can let on what it's based on. Our idea of this. I needed a topic for the Quackcast. I didn't have one. I thought I had ideas. I didn't. Tance came up with this great idea, which was let's do a topic about dumbasses based around this John F Kennedy Jr. So. This guy's a dumbass and he's wanting to do a lot of dumbass things.
No,
like really
John F
dumb.
Kennedy Jr. wanting to revoke the polio vaccine.
Yeah.
It was this whole thing that we were ranting about, and then we hadn't it basically scrapped all the ideas from our minds, and since it's just the dumb that remained, I said let's talk about the dumb. So.
Yeah, and he's a dumbass generally. I mean, not just that. He's good. Every idea that comes out of his head is dumb because he's a very stupid man. And that's what we're going to talk about, just stupid people and making stupid characters, basically, if you want to write a stupid character. Before we get into that, I have to bring up the featured comic. Quackcast gave us a featured comic this week, and it's called Hyacinth. So tell us about that now, Kawhi.
Hello, this is Quackcast, and the feature I've selected for this week is Hyacinth by Ollie Polly, and it is rated M for mature. Teenage rabbit girl Catherine Barkley is left alone to watch movies on the couch one evening in her suburban Minnesotan home during the late 60s. Catherine picks up the phone to an unknown caller who begins making inappropriate comments about her personal life. Minutes pass, and the deafening sound of breaking glass shatters any doubt that staying home alone was not the safest option. 6 months later, Catherine is still missing. A second rabbit girl and Beatles fan, Anna Maria Gomez, is having bad luck waking up to her alarm clock on time. Luckily for Anna, classmate Vivi rolls up to her driveway just in time to give her a ride to school. Now, the only battles Anna and Vivi need to contend with this morning are smack-talking mean girls and preparing for final exams. The comic's prologue is completed entirely in black and white line work. The start of Chapter 1 makes a stylistic shift to color layered on a tan background that really complements the hues and shades. Page numbers are titled in Spanish. Pull up a pair of leg warmers and read Hyacinth by Ollie Polly, rated M.
That was Quackcast talking about Hyacinth. Not Hyacinth Bouquet Baines, but Hyacinth. A different kind of a hyacinth. None at all. Alright, so next up we've got to talk about Gummal's music for this week. He came up with a theme to a comic called The Side Characters, which is a comic I featured a few weeks ago. And yeah, this music is a solid piano groove that bounces and judders along before being joined by a snake-charming synth bass that takes us on a short exotic side trip to the Middle East and back. So take it away, Gummels, with your Side Characters theme. And that was Gummalus with the side characters, which is a comic by Dan G. That's rated E by Dan G. Lots of rhyming there. Okay, Dumbasses, guys. Well, Dumbasses is interesting. In America, they spell it Dumbass. In Australia, it's spelled Dumbares. Dumbass. Which I like better. But yeah, dumbasses. It's interesting. Often dumbasses are protagonists. If a protagonist is a villain, not if a protagonist is a villain, no. If a dumbass is a villain, they're normally a mid-boss sort of villain. Like a low antagonist. Like Brutus, I suppose. Bluto, that's his name, not Brutus. Brutus was the guy who killed Julius Caesar. Bluto in Popeye. He is a dumbass baddie. That's the level. You don't normally get a dumbass who's a supervillain unless it's like a comedy thing. Like a, I don't know, The Incredibles.
Like Austin Powers, where you got Dr.
Evil.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah, that you go.
Yeah. Or Back to the Future has Biff.
Yeah, a genuine dumbass. But yeah, comedy.
Comedies like Dodgeball had Ben Stiller's character, who was a moron.
Yes, I love that guy. Oh my god.
He was so funny. Yeah. But very rich and powerful. And Bluto and Biff, very physically strong and powerful.
For some reason, dumbasses are strong usually.
Well, they definitely could be like catalysts to the plot or serve to show the audience what happens in a situation where you don't want to make your supervillain expendable, but you can have like a couple of dumbass mooks or mid-tier, mid-level bosses, and then they get to be the object of a demonstration of how powerful your heroes are. Like what was the middle management insurance guy in The Incredibles, for example?
Oh yeah.
Or you could have like a dumbasses like Mrs. Oh my goodness, I can't think today. Like Mrs. Bennet from Pride and Prejudice, the mom of the main character, the one that was. She seems at least, and that's a point I want to make at least a little later. She seems stupid and obnoxious and all of that, and she certainly behaves in ways that support that she is actually dumb. So
and causes some problems because of it, right? She's socially clueless and that upset. I finally just watched that movie. You guys were talking about it last time. I've never read the book and probably never will, but I finally saw the movie, the Keira Knightley version. No good?
No,
okay, I was going to ask you if it was any good.
If you want, you know what? The next best thing to reading the book is Pride and Prejudice with that is a mini series. It's I think like 3 or 4 episodes, something like that, and it stars Colin Firth as Mr. Darcy.
Famously,
it is spot on. It's one of the best.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I will look for it. Even this bad version, I actually enjoyed it. So.
Okay. I'm glad you did, because personally, it's the one book by Jane Austen that I really like. All the other books, all the characters frustrate me. So yeah, I mean, it's well written, but I
North
want to beat
Ranger
them.
Abbey and stuff. It's a good book. I enjoyed it. It's a really easy read, so it's not a very long book.
Yeah.
So it's
maybe
and
I'll
you
read
get the audio version too.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
it,
sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, no, it has some like a lot of it has a lot of dialogue where you have underhanded catty attacks, sort of like a southern niceties or whatever it's called, like the
Yeah.
stereotype. We speak very nicely, but we basically call you names.
Yeah.
So there's that. I really enjoy that. That personally, I could never do that, but it's very entertaining. So
Yeah.
yeah, but the mom is portrayed and is definitely treated by her husband as an idiot. So
Right.
yeah.
She's an idiot. I was just thinking though, like on the topic of baddies as idiots, that is a common trope when you have the sidekicks as idiots, the baddie sidekicks, like the henchmen. So like Bebop and Rocksteady in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are classic. The who do we call the sisters in Bottomless Waitress? The fish sisters, the bug sisters, bird sisters. That's it. I knew they were named after a creature. I couldn't remember what it was. The bird sisters in Bottomless Waitress are dumbasses. They really are, and they're mid-level henchmen kind of characters. I mean, they're not henchmen, but they're in that role. And like in Batman, remember the classic series Batman, not like the comic Batman or anything else. The Adam West thing. They always had henchmen, and they're always played by the same guys. I think, no matter who the baddie was, they just be in a different outfit. They're always dumbasses. Venture Brothers did that as well. They had two classic henchmen.
I mean, you're hard pressed to find an intelligent character anywhere in Venture Brothers. But...
That's true. Everyone in Venture Brothers is a dumbass. Oh my god, Baines.
Yeah. And like in Emperor's New Groove, Kronk is a dumbass.
Totally, yeah.
Is he played by Patrick Warburton?
Oh my god, I don't remember.
Oh my god, because that's Patrick Warburton and David Spade are the two people in Emperor's New Groove, and they're both together in that bloody TV show that I've been watching, Rules of Engagement. And they're both dumbasses in that.
Yeah.
But different levels of dumbass. One's a dumbass in that he's, I'm a big man and I'm manly and you do have to be gay or womanly or feminine. Not as a man. That's embarrassing. So he's a dumbass in that way. And David Spade character's a dumbass in that he's a real pervert and he's wanting to get women into bed, but he doesn't think about that anyone can have any thoughts apart from that. He doesn't understand that life doesn't revolve around, sexual liaisons, and it's quite funny. It's quite funny to make fun of dumbasses because their view of the world is so limited. I think that's part of the humor with dumbasses. Yeah. Everything is rather narrow to them. It just involves their very small conception of the world, and that's the same in reality too. I mean, you have people like this Kennedy Jr. who's I mean, he's not funny, he's dangerous.
They are not entertaining in real life.
But they can be when they haven't got power. When their ideas of the world are very limited and you just think, oh my god, this dumbass. They're entertaining to talk to because their limited view of the world is almost... I don't know, it can be refreshing because there aren't too many factors influencing it. It's just... this and this and this, and the world is made of these particular factors, and that's what I know about. And they proceed to tell you about their view of the world, and you just think, it's harmless and it's funny. Like, I'm not laughing at them, I'm just sort of, I'm just thinking that there's a funny way of thinking about the world.
When I actually have to interact with people that are at least acting dumb, usually I'm extremely frustrated and they are not at all entertaining. Usually they are in some kind of low tier, like a low tier power position, and I am forced to talk to them.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
That's
it's
not
not a
great.
fancy. Yeah. And of course, we forgot to mention the kings of dumb in British humor, like Baldric and Prince George, and George in general in Blackadder.
Percy as well.
Percy as well, like pretty much everyone in there except Blackadder and Blackadder from season 2 onwards, because in season 1 he is also a dumbass. So
Baldric is a smarty in season 1.
yeah, he is.
There's Melchett, who can be a dumbass in a
He is
way.
definitely. He's also a malicious dumbass. It's there that he's also malicious, whereas like Baldric or George are just dumb.
Yes, very much so. They're dumb in a Baldric is not smart enough to be malicious, and George is dumb, but he's okay. In the second one, no, the third one, he's selfish because he's a king. In the fourth one, he would be more magnanimous, dumb, but he would be wanting to help people. So it's changed completely.
Yeah, because he's not like he comes from money, but he's not a king, and he has not been brought up to be self-centered, at least not as much. And he's super entertaining in both these seasons. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
Played by the inimitable Hugh Laurie, who is magnificent in those roles.
Yeah, amazing. And you know that is a good like archetype for a dumb character, especially like in a comedy and stuff, where you actually need a dumb character, if you need one.
A good dumb character versus a bad one.
Yeah, a good.
Well,
yeah, because
we're talking good as in a good person, not a badly written character.
Yeah, and not only a good person, like, because they're not necessarily, I mean, not just like good as in not a villain, but also like well written, because you don't want your dumb character to piss off the audience and everyone to wish them dead or something. Because they have to be so like organic and integral to the interactions of all the other characters that they are genuinely loved or accepted.
Part of that is making them an innocent. And this is a very common thing. So it's used in fish out of water movies. You know, you have the dumb person who's like the fish out of water protagonist. But the making them an innocent makes them automatically more kind of like engaging to the audience, because we sort of like feel protective over them. And there's a lot of characters like that. Mr. Bean is one, another Rowan Atkinson sort of person. But that sort of fits into dumbass protagonists. They have that innocence. I'm of course thinking about Baines, your Drunkduck character in Community Falls. He has that kind of feeling about him. You know, he's an innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, honestly, I'm not convinced that he's a 100% dumbass. Like, don't get me wrong, totally. Yeah, he's dumbass. But, and that's what I wanted to talk about, because you can have layers to dumbassery, if that's a word. You could have like your through and through dumb person, like Baldric. Like, he is pure, like 24 karat dumb, and whereas for example someone like Obelix in Asterix comics is dumb, and he often makes like a stupid comments or doesn't immediately pick up on something or whatever, But if you pay attention, he is not actually dumb. He does do certain things that disqualify him from being fully dumb. Um, for example, he can understand, even at a latency, when someone is stringing him along or indirectly telling him that he's ugly or not good enough or whatever. He immediately catches on if you tell him he's fat. He doesn't like that. And there are certain situations where he conducts himself actually pretty well to get out of situations or resolve situations. It's just that he has this veneer of dumbness all around, and he compliments Asterix really well on that. But he's not completely dumb. That's what
brings us to another thing. Now, he's a big cat guy. Now, we can't say he's fat or he'll beat us up. But yeah, he's a rotund fellow and quite physically large. And that's like a common thing. So Drunkduck has got that as well. I mean, he's not portly, but he's a tall gentleman and a buff and strong.
Broad-shouldered. Yeah, broad-shouldered.
Yeah,
and that's a trope. Like, big guys or big people are often portrayed as dumbasses.
Mm-hmm.
I've used that type so many times.
You have? Oh my God, Baines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wade and Penelope. Oh.
Wade and Penelope. And on the spectrum of dumbness, I go to that side a lot with a lot of my characters. Not necessarily big and strong, but a lot of them tend to be kind of naive, a little bit clueless, innocent, fairly sweet. Drunkduck might be the most. Maybe not. Maybe Wade is not very sweet, but dumb. Very, very dumb. But I really, that works for me for some reason. Write what you know. What they said.
That's interesting. Yeah. Now, oh God, again, like I just want to slightly branch off now because we've done Bottomless Waitress. We've got this character, Frances, the dumb bimbo character, because we wanted to play with a stereotype. Beautiful and dumb, which is a common stereotype. But she's small, and that's not normally something a dumb character is never small. And Nikki, has unrequited love for Frances. She's the big, tall, buff truck driver. She's not dumb. She's just normal. So we're not playing into the dumbassery thing there. But yeah, the big, strong dumbasses are a thing. Now, do you think that has a corollary in real life? Are big people tend to be stupid? I haven't come across that generally. No. I think I have come across it. I've known some big dumbasses, but not many. I've known a lot of tall people who are smart. So.
Yeah, I honestly, personally, I haven't. I mean, I don't even remember meeting someone that I said, "Oh my God, he's dumb and he's also like tall and big and buff or whatever." I don't think that is truth to fiction.
I think it's probably a stereotype, based on fiction, based on whatever cartoons or shows.
And also it could be like, speaking as a short person, and that's why I'm allowed to say this, it could be like sour grapes from the short community. Like, you are tall, but you are so dumb.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
Or it's the little clever person and the big dumb person. It's a great set in fiction. Like, it's a great
like Asterix is tiny, basically, like compared to Obelix.
Lenny and
Lenny and George. I was gonna say Lenny and George, from Mice and Men.
Mice and Men, yeah. And the Looney Tunes version, which is the I will cuddle him and keep him safe.
Yeah. On the other hand, you also have people that aren't like characters. I mean,
I just wanted to say that like you've got the big dumbasses in fiction, and you think maybe that might be like something creative. But I don't know. I've known plenty of very short people who are incredibly villainously smart. So I think that
Oh, really?
that does hold for small people as being the smart stereotype. It doesn't hold for big people as being dumbasses. It doesn't hold.
I could see it if someone has a tough time getting by socially when they're younger. You hear about people who at least they say like, I wasn't good looking when I was young. I wasn't socially popular. To get there, I developed a sense of humor. I could see someone developing, education or other kinds of knowledge to get by, to get through. So
it's the same with animals too. Like I've known like smaller animals, if they survive, tend to be way more wilier and clever and meaner than the bigger like brothers and sisters and friends.
It's
like
by necessity.
dogs.
Yeah, it's an animal. It's like an animal response sometimes.
Yeah. Honestly, I just have to put that out there. I have also met short people that are quite dumb. So,
Okay.
Me too.
it-
Overall,
it-
probably not much more common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to characters, I want to say that there is, the 24-karat dumb person like a Baldric or like a Thompson and Thompson from 1010, or, the twin investigators with the mustaches and the hats. The boiler hats. Thank you. They are the genuine article, like pure dumb. But there is also like a character that isn't actually dumb. Like the character design is not, oh, here is a dumb person, but they can be dumb. Like they have a tendency to be dumb in certain situations, and you expect them to do something stupid for some reason. And the one I'm thinking about right now is Captain Haddock from 1010, who is not in any sense of the word, but he does so many stupid things for different reasons. First of all, he becomes like he gets angry real quick, has a very short fuse, and he can react in ways that are stupid and get himself into trouble. He also has a weakness for whiskey, and that is another thing that gets him into dumb situations. And he generally is the one that has the tendency to be dumb when the story needs it, without having the 100% dumb character in. But that said, he's not stupid. He's actually a clever person. He's just,
There are other characters like that. Say, it's always a sci-fi trope. Apparently, that you need a big, tall character who is aggressive, but also a little bit dumber than everyone else. Occasionally, not always a dumbass. But they can be, like a Worf in Star Trek. He's a bit slow sometimes. But one of them I was thinking of when you were talking about Haddock. There's Jane in Firefly, who is like that. He's incredibly aggressive and mean and very savagely intelligent when it is his self-interest, but often as well quite stupid. Like he doesn't think ahead,
right,
and gets himself into issues. So that is that kind of character, and that does fit into the classic sci-fi trope of having the big person who is slightly dumb. I think Chewbacca, I suppose, is that he's not obviously dumb, but he is not he's not someone like he's not brilliant. Basically, that Tarn is the brilliant guy. Chewbacca is the slower, more taciturn, more kind of solid rock kind of a thing. And that is like
hard to tell.
It's hard to tell, but I think you're not gonna go to Chewbacca for like intelligent conversation. He's gonna just.
Well, he has an issue with how he articulates conversations.
Yes. But
I don't know if you go to Han for intelligent conversation either.
No, you would not.
Yeah.
Slight
I didn't
mod.
see Han Solo fixing a disassembled 3PO. Just saying.
But the way that is the thing. The way Chewbacca fixes it is like whacking stuff together and getting angry when things don't join. You know.
Yeah, and you know what? That brings me to, you could have like a main character that is also stupid, but so overpowered in certain areas that they solve the problems by just hitting them or throwing money at them or whatever. Like I remember there was this Greek show when I was growing up, so early 90s, I guess. Where one of the main characters, like it was one of those like sitcom-y multiple characters that are recurring, like Friends more or less, but it was, instead of being New Yorkers living in their, cohabiting in their apartments, it was just people that were tenants in a block of flats, and you had all these people that were in different floors and would have to interact, because here the law requires that you interact with everybody else in the block of flats and do certain things. So shenanigans occurred there. So one of the main characters was stupid, like Baldric level stupid, but she was also filthy rich. And very much, an innocent, really. She was really eager to help anyone and everyone, but she was dumb. She had no issues with anything because she just threw money at everything. It's like, have some of these purple ones, and purple ones were the 10,000 drachma, like the top, like the 500 euro bill. Today it was back then also for drachmas, like how should I pay? Which ones are the ones that we pay the kiosk with? And then she would pull out like 100 or something for gum or whatever. And the other main character was the smart one, who was poor. And she was constantly trying to stop her from basically tossing her money out the window all the time. And that was the main gag. But this character was basically superpowered. And it didn't matter that she was stupid. And that was the joke, that money made her coveted, and everyone treated her as if she was a genius, although she was actually objectively very dumb.
Yeah,
They have
that's another one that's scary in real life, but great.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have a similar character that in the TV show. What was it? The waitress one. Oh my God! Two Broke Girls.
Oh yeah, I know which one you mean. I have seen only clips of that. So.
And there's this lady, I can't remember what her name was, but she has she's from a fake some sort of not a fake place. She's from Poland, I think. That's where she's from. It's a real place. But she's not really from Poland. I mean, the actor's only pretending, she's acting. Mm-hmm. And she's a dumbass. And she has money. And that's how she has her superpower. Because she's always absolutely rich and can get into any situation, whatever. Because she has all this money. So, yeah, very much like your particular thing. And she lives with the people in the same flat. So there you go, Tons. Maybe they copied you. Maybe they copied that Greek TV show. Interesting.
I doubt it, but I don't know. Stranger things have happened. But yeah, so you could have, for example, take Inspector Gadget. He's a dumbass. He's actually genuinely a stupid character, and it's his niece that does the actual brain work in the show.
Yeah, Penny.
Penny, yeah. Who for some reason always irritated me when I was watching it growing up. I don't know why.
Smart-ass kids are an irritating thing. The writers should
Yeah,
have
they
realized
can
that.
be.
I don't know. I mean, generally, yeah. Ew. Okay.
I mean, the show is a derivative of Get Smart, which was the Mel Brooks created TV show about spies, and the main one being 86, Agent 86, and his sidekick, which was 99, so this woman, and these two together would like solve things, and she'd be the smarter one, and she'd like say, "Oh, Max, that's not how you do it," but he would solve things by accident, and that's how they'd get through the plots. Even though she knew what to do and everything, it wouldn't matter because he'd still solve stuff by accident, and that's what Inspector Gadget is sort of based on. Although it's not spies, he's a police detective or something. And it's like voiced by the same actor who played Get Smart, which is fun. But instead of solving things by accident, he only seems to solve them by accident. It's Penny doing all the work. And that's a flaw. I think if he had actually solved things by accident, it would be way better and way funnier than her actually really solving stuff. Because then you'd take away a lot of the drama and the danger, because it wouldn't be this little girl being in mortal danger, which is not a pleasant thing. You don't want to see a little girl with the potential to have something like bad happen to her. It's fine for like the grown man, but it's not fine for that. And yeah, so that is a flaw in that show, I think. And that would be less irritating if it was like that. And I think that actually got worse in the reboots of that show when it came back. And that character became even more like of a Mary Sue kind of, extra smart. And I solve everything. I'm going to, solve it.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I didn't watch the reboot.
Yeah.
Well, also, basically, I couldn't understand what the deal was with Inspector Gadget. Like, was he an android robot that Penny had created or something? What was that? What was he? I could never understand. Like, what are you?
Yeah,
I assume he had some kind of an accident early on in his police detective days, and a doctor rebuilt him. I think there was a doctor in the start of the thing, and but I can't really remember. I'm sure there's a Wikipedia article that tells you everything about it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I have to. Oh, go on.
He might not even be a real man. He might just be a robot. Who knows?
Yeah. And going back to different like dumb characters, and you also have like the dumb sidekick, a la Obelix, but that is a double-edged sword, because if they are too dumb, the audience can easily hate them for becoming burdens to everyone else and to the plot. And I remember, like, I have talked before, like, about this Greek pulp fiction that was about these kids during the occupation that were doing certain things, and I was inspired from that, and then ended up creating Without Moonlight. So these were three kids, and you have the main character who was the super smart guy, and then you had the super smart girl that also was like his romantic interest, and potentially, like, whenever he was presumed dead, she would go on a rampage and become like 3 times more dangerous than the guy. And then go back to being like demure and very sweet. But you have
he's
seen,
alive again.
Yeah.
yeah, but you have seen the predator in here. And then there was the third guy, the third boy, and he was dumb, as like dumber than a sack of potatoes dumb.
Yeah.
Which is really something that doesn't fit with the whole cloak and dagger. We are resisting the Nazis and creating all this spy stuff, like kids spy stuff that shows up the adults level genius kind of thing. But we also have this dumb guy sticking around offering nothing except trouble. Like he got the other two almost killed like every other Tuesday. So
Yeah. You have to have your
Okay,
comic relief characters to drive plot.
Yeah, was it
Yeah.
supposed to be funny or was it
Yeah.
funny? Or, yeah.
he was supposed to be funny, but he was not funny because even the jokes were stupid.
I remember you
Um,
talking about this series before and how everyone
Yeah.
hated that character.
everyone, like this series helped raise like 3 cohorts of Greeks, and every single Greek from every single cohort hated that guy. It's like, and there were a couple of times where he was the one that was almost killed or presumed dead, and everyone was saying like, "Stay dead, just stay dead."
That's so funny.
Yeah, to the point that the author, towards the end of the series, like not the end, from the beyond the middle mark of the series, he sort of smartened up the guy a little bit, and he was dumb, but he was that two-tier, like dumb on the surface, but also has some use for certain things, and he also doesn't do like dumb as brick stuff anymore.
Yeah,
So he was more tolerated, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
right.
So yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, don't do that if you're going to do like an action story or a spy story, and like keep your dumb guy like semi-smart in certain areas, and let them be dumb in like as a dumb sounding board, for example. Like when the other two are brainstorming, he just drops some kind of stupid remark that is also funny, and then they move on. Like limited to that.
Right.
I wanted to bring up another dumb character who is never portrayed as dumb. Serial killers. Now these people, we always portray them as smart geniuses, like, because they have to be supervillains in things.
To be a
It's
threat. Yeah, to
Yeah.
be hard to catch, hard to outwit.
Something like Bones, the TV series. Like,
Mhm.
they always did that. All series do this, but that was they had absolute mega genius level. Like they'd write computer virus code on someone's bones that when it was scanned into the databases would cause like everything to collapse because oh my god, so genius. And that, but the truth is completely opposite. Serial killers are dumbasses. Like the
Yeah, but
smartest
usually
serial
not very bright, apparently. Yeah.
No. The smartest serial killers were like that people kind of reference, people like Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy. But even them, they weren't smart people. They
were not.
smart in some situations. But yeah,
Maybe
they were
crafty or.
The biggest thing with
Scheming.
the go on.
No, go on. Scheming people, basically.
Yeah, the biggest thing with serial killers and why they are hard to catch is that they are not connected to the everyday life of the victim. They are complete strangers. So you basically don't have leads on who might have done this.
Right.
Yeah, because it's not
Whereas
the wife or
usually-
the husband
Yeah.
or the boyfriend or the co-worker. It's just a random
So-
stranger.
Yeah. So how are you supposed to track this person down? So that's what makes them look quote unquote superior, in the sense that, yeah, if some random guy that happened to pass by my house and also happened to be a tourist broke in and killed me and then left, even if I had like I don't know, the criminal minds researching this, they would have problems determining that, oh yeah, it is a tourist that came and did this. So
Right.
that's what makes them look hard to catch, and they are hard to catch. But in reality, if you consider they are basically just addicts. The problem is that they are addicted to killing rather than to something that is destructive only to themselves.
And because they want to do killing, and because they lack that empathy and stuff like that, they tend to be, a bit dumbasses, because they can't communicate on the same level. They can't understand normal life in a lot of ways. They can't relate to people. So, I'm sorry.
And that's how,
dumbass.
And that's how they get caught often, because people around them get creeped out eventually. And they notice things that if they were like even moderately like normal level, typically smart, they would not do certain things, but they do these things, and then they get caught. So
exactly. And psychopaths are often, psychopaths and serial killers are not necessarily the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But psychopaths tend to be dumbasses because they have the same kind of issue. They don't relate to people, and they don't sympathize, empathize, all that kind of thing. And not always are they dumbasses, but when they are very violent and they tend to sort of live their life a certain way, like a biker or something like that, or a criminal, they tend to be dumbasses.
Yeah, and the thing is that mostly there are certain elements. Like if you are in my science, you know that intelligence is not a constant. Like it's not like you are born with green eyes or black eyes or brown eyes and that's that. You are born with it and it's a constant. It's that we are all as human beings, assuming that we are born with a healthy brain. We are born with high intelligence. The issue is that as we go through getting exposed to certain things, from physical stuff like chemicals or whatever to other stuff like inhibitory elements, like you should be dumb with math because you're a girl. You should not be clever. Girls are not clever in this area. And you internalize these things, you self-limit in a sense. So that's one element that shapes human intelligence. And another thing, that a cluster of factors that shape human intelligence, and it can cause it to even fluctuate, is stress and fear. So, and I know that because I actually researched that to the point that I was called the Psych Lab Scarer. So, yeah. I did run an actual study, like an experiment, where I exposed people to very scary concepts, mutilation, sudden death, roaches in your bed, stuff like that. I had a method where I came up with the most prevalent things that people are inherently viscerally afraid of, and I found the most terrible photos of that, and I slapped them on a computer and randomly showed them to people, and then I had them try to remember certain lists of words. And then I also had my control group and the same people in different times, where I asked them to memorize similar words. And it was very consistent that when people that had been exposed to these stimuli without actually being scared themselves, they just saw it on a screen, could remember less than when these same people were not exposed to these things. So it was like a basic first indication that stress and visceral reaction to things, fear is going to limit your memory, among other things. Critical thinking as well has been immersed in that. All of that.
Your focus gets narrowed and very gets sort of truncated down, and you're
exactly. So in this
thought
area,
process as well. So the same as if you're drunk or you're sleep deprived.
yeah,
or you're
yeah,
food
yeah, absolutely.
deprived.
Or that's why they show when someone is panicking, they don't see where they are, what they are doing. They don't see where they are running. They could easily run out a door and get killed or whatever, because they are panicking. Normally they would never do that. So while they are panicking, they are very dumb. So
I love the footage of people when they're scared, like when they're like something big, have like a wave is coming towards them, and his father throws their child away from them and runs. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Pushes his wife out of the way, goes, ah!
Oh, wow. That would require like a lot of therapy afterwards, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, and I just have to say that in order to get this thing approved, I had to then decompress these people and show them something really funny and really nice and fun. And I would, Shrek had come out, Shrek 2, around that time. So I had the DVD and I showed them this Boots Are Made for Walking clip with the Puss in Boots dancing to this song. And that's why it got approved. But it also got me so many participants because everyone wanted to see it spread that, yes, it shows you some scary stuff, but then you can see this clip. So I got twice as much, twice as many participants than I would have. It was like, yes, please come in and I will show you the thing afterwards.
Nice.
So yeah.
Was that in high school or college?
No, that was in undergraduate. Like this was my senior thesis. Yeah, university. This was for me to graduate. So
yeah.
Okay, you think Tarts graduated when you should still in high school when that Shrek came out?
I was picturing like a 10-year-old Tense doing these.
Oh my God.
That would exactly be accurate. I was also dancing together with
Tarts is only 20 years old. Wow.
Yeah. I'm eternally young. So
yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk about who is your favorite idiot character. I mean, we talked about like your dumbass character, Tance, in your that little boy in the thing. So I would think Shaggy and Scooby are a good kind of corollary for that character. So you've got the smart ones, which are Daphne and Fred and and the really smart one in the orange outfit, the glasses.
Oh yeah, what's your name?
Velma?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
She's the actual smart one, yeah. Fred and Daphne are sort of just pretending. But yeah, and then Fred is not Fred. Who is it? Shaggy. Shaggy's the dumbass and Scooby. Yeah. They're the idiots. Yeah. So, like, who are your favorite dumbasses in fiction?
Baldric all the way. I'm Team Baldric.
Okay. What about you, Bones?
Baldric. I have a cunning plan.
I have a cunning plan, and it always involved radishes and dung. Dung and radishes.
I still remember. I still laugh while they were waiting to be executed, and he said, "I have a cunning plan," and Blackadder said, "Okay, let's hear it." He said it much better than I am now saying it. And he said, "We wait until they cut off our heads." And then, like the chickens, when they cut off our heads, we spring up and run. I don't
Genius,
know.
Baldric. Genius.
Yeah. I love him. He's awesome. And yeah.
Magnificent. What about you, Bones? Have you got a cunning plan?
Oh, I'm racking my brain trying to not to think of one, but to narrow it down because I love that, you know. And Truck, Duck, in the Continuity Falls comic, hopefully will be this sort of has a dimension of intelligence underneath the fact that he's, uncultured, uneducated.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of, when I think of those characters, especially him, I'm thinking of Breckinridge Elkins, the Robert E. Howard, so the creator of Conan, and he always created characters who are had that sort of thing, dumbasses on a surface level, but had a level of scheming. So Conan was wickedly intelligent in some ways, which is a total dumbass in others. He was absolutely uncultured, didn't know anything about anything, but he could work stuff out, and he could destroy the most supervillain genius character in the world, in his world, just because of his animal intelligence. So he's intelligent like an animal. But Breckinridge Elkins is a truck duck, Lil Abner kind of character.
Yeah.
He's just big, incredibly powerful, and dumb, but has that level of animal scheming, animal intelligence beneath. That would, if he employs it, which he rarely ever did, but he could do anything with it. That's just quite interesting, I think.
That is neat. Yeah, very interesting. This had been a character in short stories, Robert E. Howard, in prose, I guess. Or...
Short stories, yeah. Back in the 1930s,
very cool.
I think.
Never heard of the character, but I'm interested.
Oh, you would love them. It's the stories are a gent from Bear Creek.
All right. Yeah.
And the writing is they have the accent in there.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I'll check that out, man.
Breckinridge, come here now. Where you been, Breckinridge?
It's a proud tradition. I love Pippi Longstocking, who I think maybe is a Canadian creation. I'm not sure.
I thought she was Dutch or German or something.
You're right. Yeah, I was trying to take credit.
You almost fooled me. I mean, sure.
Hans is our honorary dumbass now.
I actually thought she might be, but yeah, I'm sure you're right. She's Dutch or something. In fact, I'm sure you're right. Yeah, we're running out of time, but I love Pippi. Uncultured, uneducated, but an awesome, alternative point of view on life. Love Joey on Friends. I hate to end with that.
Okay, bye-bye, people. Bye-bye. This has been Quackcast number 718. Ocean Ocean, Banes and Tarts. And we like to look at dumbasses. Oh my god, that little clock is ticking down. Are we all dumbasses? Are we?
Who knows if we are panicking enough. So
Homer Simpson.
Oh yeah.
Days go by, and Fry on Futurama as.
All right. That's it. Homer and Fry, the biggest dumbasses